One of the things I hear almost every day in my practice is this: I'm just so tired. Not the kind of tired that comes from a long hike or hard workout, not the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. This is different. It's the kind of fatigue where you wake up already exhausted, where your body feels heavy, your motivation disappears. You wonder if you're simply just getting older or something is seriously wrong with you. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to know something before we go any further. Your fatigue is not your enemy. It's one of the most important conversations your body is trying to have with you. Hi, I'm Dr. Jodi Medell, founder of the Healing Continuum and the Healing Continuum method. I'm an integrative and functional medicine practitioner with 30 years of experience as a doctor of physical therapy. I help active adults and women in midlife understand why their bodies no longer function the way they used to. Because symptoms are rarely random, they are messages. And fatigue may be one of the clearest messages your body can send you. So in the past, we have been taught to ignore fatigue, right? I think our culture has taught us something really incredibly unhealthy. We've learned to admire people who push through exhaustion. We wear busyness almost like a badge of honor. If we're tired, we drink another coffee, or we have another energy drink. If we're exhausted, we actually work harder. If our body asks us to slow down, we often feel super guilty for listening. Eventually, we stop hearing what our body is trying to tell us. So, fatigue becomes an intelligent adaptation. I don't believe fatigue is simply a lack of energy. I believe fatigue is often a protective adaptation. Think about it. If your body recognizes that its resources are limited, would it be wise to encourage you to keep pushing? Probably not. Instead, it slows you down. Fatigue is often your body's way of saying, hey, look, I don't have the resources available to keep doing what you're asking me to do. So where does this energy come from? Energy is created at the cellular level. Every heartbeat, every thought, every muscle contraction, every hormone your body produces requires energy. That energy is produced primarily inside tiny structures in your cells called mitochondria. I like to think of mitochondria as your body's energy factories. When they're functioning well, you feel resilient, alive, lots of energy. When they're struggling, everything begins to feel harder. So why is it that the mitochondria slow down? What is it that stresses the mitochondria? It's rarely just one thing. Sometimes it's years of poor sleep, chronic stress, inflammation, blood sugar swings, undereating, overeating, overtraining, environmental toxins, illness, hormonal changes, emotional overload. None of these necessarily create disease overnight, but together they slowly reduce the body's capacity to produce energy efficiently. You also need to know that the nervous system uses an enormous amount of energy. And this is something we don't talk about enough. Living in survival mode is exhausting. If your nervous system is constantly scanning for danger, constantly solving problems, constantly planning, constantly worrying, constantly being on, your brain is consuming tremendous amounts of energy. Many women tell me this: I don't know why I'm tired. I haven't really done anything today. But mentally, their nervous system has been running a frickin' marathon. You know, in this picture, hormones matter also. During perimenopause and menopause, hormones fluctuate, and that fluctuation affects nearly every energy production. Sleep changes, muscle recovery changes, inflammation increases, stress resilience changes. Recovery becomes less efficient. Many women interpret these changes as weakness. I don't, and I don't want you to either. I see them as changes in physiology, and physiology itself can be supported. So, I think many active women often misinterpret fatigue. And this is especially true with women I work with. And I will say through lived experience, it's super true for me as well. A lot of my clients are runners, cyclists, hikers, skiers, business owners, former athletes. They're really used to pushing themselves, not just pushing themselves, but pushing themselves hard. So when fatigue appears, their first instinct, mine included, often is to push harder, train harder, eat less, or eat even more clean, become more disciplined. Ironically, that's often exactly what the body doesn't need. It's really time for us to start asking better questions. When somebody tells me they're fatigued, I don't immediately ask, how do we increase your energy? Instead, I become super curious. I'm looking for the driver or set of drivers behind it. How are you sleeping? How are you recovering? How are you eating? How much protein are you getting? How stable is your blood sugar? What's your stress load like? How's your thyroid functioning? How are your relationships? How's your nervous system? How's your movement? Because fatigue is rarely caused by one thing. It's usually the accumulation of many small stressors over time. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again because it's really important that you get this and understand it. Your body is always prioritizing survival. Your body, everybody's body is incredibly intelligent. If it doesn't have enough energy to do everything, it prioritizes. Survival comes first. Healing can wait. Recovery can wait. Optimal hormone production can wait. Digestion, too, can wait. This isn't failure, it's adaptation. The question isn't, why am I so tired? The real question is, what is using so much of my body's energy? So this is why I created the Healing Continuum and the Healing Continuum method, because it isn't about chasing symptoms. It's about increasing your body, the body's capacity. When we support structure, physiology, and the nervous system, the body often begins producing energy more efficiently on its own. We stop forcing. We begin supporting. We open up the space for healing to happen. We begin asking the right questions. So if you're feeling exhausted, please don't assume your body is failing you. Instead, get curious. Be curious about the communication your body is sending you. Fatigue may not be the problem. Fatigue may very well be your body's invitation to slow down long enough to understand what it needs. When we stop fighting our symptoms and we begin listening to them, healing often starts in a very different place. If today's video resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Every week I share videos about midlife physiology, nervous system regulation, movement, recovery, and the Healing Continuum approach to health. And if you know someone who's constantly saying, I'm just so tired, send them this video. It may help them realize their body isn't working against them. It's trying really hard to communicate with them. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.